we're going to go back to last Saturday's footage. So this past Sunday, we went to the Saturday prior just to make sure we got to look at how bad Josh beat up all of us. So now we're going to look at that Saturday footage from the 6th, which from what I heard was pretty damn good. So that was open guard. We'll keep that there. And yeah, let's dive in. Mike and Joe starting us off. Joe working the front headlock as Mike kind of takes a lazy attempt on the legs. Looks like he doesn't want to shoot. And then we got Aries and David. Should be fun. They both like their stand-up games. Mike was letting that front headlock linger quite a bit. What's up, Joe? I thought you were gonna anaconda Mike here or something. Working to his back, but your hooks are a little low. How did Aries get on the ground? To David's back. Looks like David shoots. Gets Aries sat down, but good sprawl. Way to get back up. David just didn't follow through quite as much on the shot as he should have. Now Aries running to the back. David trying to catch up. Yeah, I saw that roll. See Alex and Mitchell and Ronnie and is that you, Jordan? I think that's you. See, Ronnie is past your guard already. How'd she get there? Similar situation. Overhook. Little snap down. Looks like maybe you're going for a leg or something. Oh no, she's just throwing you around. Been there. Ooh, Danny and James. Gotta keep an eye on that one. Oh, Olivia and Cole. What did Mike do to you, Joe? Oh, okay. Looks like you guys are just... Man, make them move. Cole about to launch Olivia with a Seonagi. What's up, James? I see you over here. There's the Darce. It's deep. Can you get to the angle you want? Oh, damn. There we go. All right. So let's check this out. I missed the setup. What's up, Joe? So... I was going to say you're standing next to a girl. Of course you look big, but Olivia's bigger than you muscle-wise, so... Well, stronger than you, let's say. So Danny is... He gets caught from bottom half guard. Let's see how this happens. Okay. So looks like Danny loads himself up on James's knee shield here. And James just kind of gets his head lower than his hips. And that's the start of this sweep. So with that collar tie, he can pull Danny's head down. And now it's a pretty easy sweep from there. James wasting no time to set in the Darce either. Not running to side control. Staying right in this, like, you know, semi, like what you think about as like a dorsal Kimura, but he's not even going for the Kimura. Slips in that left arm. Nice and deep too, right off the bat. Looks like you don't need to make any adjustments. And then circling, trying to get Danny to his back, laying some pressure down. That was awesome, man. Darcing Danny is, that's an accomplishment. Props to you. Meanwhile, Olivia wrecking Cole. Cole looking at the camera. Saying, help me, help me. And Aries and David back to their feet. David on a snatch single there. Got to run to the side. There we go. Oh, Aries thinking about getting a leg out. This is going to be hard because his knee is on the outside. If he had that knee across the body as like a low knee shield, he could kind of push David in the opposite direction of the leg he's trying to get. Like, you know, using that knee and a cross shoulder post. So in this case, if Aries used his right arm up in the armpit, he could push David in that direction and make that leg lighter, a little bit easier to get out. This might be tough the way David's distributing his weight here. Really hoping y'all lost the foot. Nope. Nope, we got it. We got it, and we're going over it. Danny on a leg, sitting James down. Got him. Let's see what's going on with Joe and Mike. Olivia's made her way to mount. Looks like she's trying to straighten out Cole's arm here. Right here. Fortunately, that's not the arm that he just had surgery on. And what happened to Jordan with Ronnie? How'd you get to mount? Ronnie had your number a second ago. Damn, dog. From half guard, elevate Ronnie's hips just enough. Love it. What do you, I'm assuming you get something here, Jordan. Did you like attack her shoulder or something? I think she's normally fairly careful when it comes to shoulder stuff. Oh no, okay. Looks like Katagatame. Good strangle. We got Mike headed on. Okay. Mike making his way to Joe's back here. Aries in a triangle as well. I don't have guy on the right here to watch half the screen, so as always, please shout out if something rad happens that I miss. Escape from David. Aries works from this triangle threat here, switching more towards the omoplata now, and then David wasting no time hitting that forward roll to get his arm safe, and then coming up into an open guard position. I'd like to see him work a body lock here if he can. Looks like that's what he's trying to do. But she said the choke wasn't great, but my giant bicep smothered her and tapped that. Definitely not bragging. That's just honesty, man. It's not bragging if it's true. Actually, no, it's still definitely bragging. Not something I do if I... Yeah, I'd expect nothing less. Olivia riding the koala guard while you make... like you tease Mitch there. So Alex is really leaning forward in closed guard right now. You guys, most of you know how I feel about that. Mitch is doing a good job maintaining this guard even as he opens and tries to counter. I don't know what that means, Cole. But I have a mosquito in my office, and now that's gonna piss me off. Nice shot from David. But he can't keep Cole down. Just can't keep him down. Cole makes his way to mount. It's a good reversal. Danny with a standing guillotine threat due to a head outside single from Alex. Did Danny snap him down? Or, yeah, nah, it looked like kind of a panicky attempt on a single leg. And now he's paying the toll on that one. Danny gets the sweep with a bit of a shoulder crunch. And David gets out. Nice. Ben working his way to Mitchell's back here. That was a, what do you do there? He like flicked his leg free. Okay, nothing too fancy. I think Mitchell was maybe letting up on the legs a bit. And this allows Ben to get into a much better position. Actually, I wouldn't even say better, just gives him options. Let's look at this real quick. So with that leg caught, Ben can still get to Mitchell's back and just go on a standard rear naked strangle attack. Once he gets the leg free here, if he'd stopped right here, he could do the typical chair sit that we see, and maybe set up like a body triangle or a post rear mount, and go on a bit more of a secured attack as far as leg position goes, you know, and fight for the rear naked strangle. But then he steps his leg, or if he leaves it here on this side of Mitchell's arm, he can step his other leg over and he's in armbar territory. But now he takes it over the bicep. I think he does. It looked like he was going for it. There we go. He's trying to fish that in. If he can clear that, now he's got triangle, like, depending on how he falls, he could fall towards a front triangle. If he fell back, he's in more of a wrong way rear triangle position. Or he can go for the arm with a 3/4 arm bar. So a lot of options from here. All pretty heavily emphasizing control. If he comes around to mount, he's going to end up in more of a mounted triangle. So he'll get away from that wrong way rear triangle, which is probably better in my opinion. But Mitchell giving him all the fight he's got. Danny looking to set up cross Ashi, but Alex doesn't let him. And then, who's Daniel with over there? Is that with Luke? He's smashing by Luke's guard right now. Where's Coop? Coop, are you in the chat? It's awfully quiet, so I assume you're not. Kipping escape from Cole, gets the knee in and a sweep out of it as opposed to the typical leg entrance, which I think for Cole's game works really well since he's got the sweep, he's in mount, and he has the arm extended with it. So I don't know. I can't decipher that one, man. I could normally figure out your typos. Cole now looking for a butterfly sweep with double overhooks and gets it. Danny on the shoulder crunch. So Danny's slipping down the arm a bit, so he's going away from the shoulder crunch and more towards that Udigatami straight arm attack, and that's what he gets. Curious if that was his intention or if maybe Alex kind of set him up there. So here, this is typical shoulder crunch territory, which Danny's really good at. The one thing I like to emphasize when I see you guys drilling this is this elbow. I like to see it a bit more over top of the shoulder blade. I find that it's a tighter grip. It's a small detail, but I think it makes a big difference. So making sure that it doesn't drop down further from the shoulder blade, I think leads to higher success with the sweep. But now as that arm starts to come free, we see Alex trying to like pummel the head over or whatever, pummel the arm over the head rather. Danny makes a tactical switch here. I love this elbow to elbow grip. This is awesome. He's starting to get his hips out. that allows him to crunch down into that negative space that he's making, how he's this kind of C shape. That's where you start. This is how you finish that move. You kind of crunch, do like an abdominal crunch when your elbow, or when their elbow is in the proper position, and it puts some serious braking pressure on the elbow there. It's a nice example of the Urigatami straight arm. Alex trying to get a double, or a single rather. Danny with another shoulder crunch-ish sweep. Looks like maybe a little shoulder pressure there. Cole trying to follow David's back. What's James doing over here? Taking Jordan's back. That's what he's doing. All right, Cole on an arm bar from an interesting position. solid criticism. Yeah, that's so. This is an interesting finishing position on this armbar, like this head scissor. Can't say I've seen that much before, if ever. What I don't like about it is the lack of the standard cross-facing leg, but you're making up for it with this one. The only thing I could see from this, I guess it's off the top of my head, that is a weakness is if David if he started his escape a little sooner, he may have been able to get out of this by taking his feet this way, right? Walking towards you and taking away the extension of the arm. Everything you do, a lot of things you do are new, Cole. New isn't always good though. But whatever, this worked this time. And I'll give you the credit on this. The reason this worked, I think, is really your hand control here. Even if David did start to maneuver, you're all the way at the end of the lever. You can control which way his arm is bending, so you could accommodate any change that needed to be made. I don't know. The only thing I would change on that, if I was yelling at you from the side, is like get this leg over the head and you're just in a 3/4 arm bar, which is going to shut down, any sort of rolling escape. Danny on a triangle? Yes. But David stacks out of it, or Alex stacks out of it. What did Benjamin do here to Mitchell? Some nasty knee on larynx pressure, maybe? Mitchell with the foot tap. And Jordan getting safe. Looks like Jordan got out of... Hey, look at that. I'm glad to see even James is having trouble strangling you. Makes me feel better about all the trouble I have. James switches to like a figure 4 high ball ride, but isn't quite able to get the control he needed to keep you from turning out. Yes, Cole, my bad. God forbid you learn any negative points and clean them up. I've seen Mitchell since then, so I don't think he was too harmed by the knee on neck or chest pressure, whatever it was. I don't think Ben would actually be kneeling on his neck. But now we got Ben and Joe, Luke and Danny. Danny, yeah, just giving Luke that sweep, man. I fight hard to not let Luke get there. Can't let him get up. Ooh, gets him with So this is the basically this is like a toe hold variation, or I don't even want to. I mean, an Estima lock does the same thing. This is just a very different grip that Luke's been playing around with. This is what Mike and I were calling the Linz lock the other day, Linz. If you guys want to look it up, you're not going to see it done from, well, maybe it has been done in competition from this position, but that might be the first time I've seen Luke do that. I'm glad he's experimenting on Danny and not me. Luke shoots for the underhook from bottom half guard. Gets Danny elevated. Gets a sweep out of it. So Joe, I'm happy to see you work in these collar tie positions. I think I want to see you be a bit more mobile from there. You know, I don't know how tired you were coming into this match or whatever. Ben is also like, he's hard to move. He's got a really strong, solid base. But when you get here, just remember, like, the takedowns you're gonna get aren't gonna be from small movements typically. I really want you to like get your opponent stepping, get him wanting to fight your collar tie. You know, that can open up armbar attempts, or not armbar attempts, arm drag attempts, which I think, if I remember correctly, I think you've been working quite a bit over the last couple of months. You know, you've got that imposing sort of height on a lot of your training partners, so I think you can use that to your advantage in this position as long as you get people moving. And it looks like Ben was trying to get you moving as well there with that foot sweep attempt. All right, and then here I pulled a half guard. Ben knee sliding his way past, framing the hip, going to north-south. Not a bad strategy against a guy with long legs that can find your legs. I try not to hang out too close to the legs after I pass. Making his way to north-south, looking for a dig on the elbow. Joe just about gets his guard back here. Yeah, you have to get Ben moving. Anytime I've been able to take him down successfully, it was definitely a dynamic exchange. But that isn't typical of Ben. That's just, you know, that means Ben has a good base. You know, you do that to any good wrestler, it's gonna be the same thing. You don't get stuff from staying too still. Danny trying his own leg attacks, but Luke not having it. What are Aries and Jordan up to over here? Aries again working this omoplata. We saw David roll out of it earlier. Looks like Aries is trying to prevent that this time with that over the back grip. But he's losing the pressure of the leg on the arm. Jordan's keeping his arm safe. So Aries switches to a good arm bar. Looks like it's a little late for Jordan. Yeah, he did. That was really good. Really great switch here. I was not expecting that. That's nice. Shooter when I wrestled, but found they didn't work in jiu-jitsu. Man, they do. You just have to yeah, you just have more to think about than you do in wrestling, right? That's why you can shoot head to the outside. You don't have to worry about it at all, right? Now all of a sudden that goes out the window, and you're shooting head inside sweep singles. You know, you could do like a snatch single. You especially could do a snatch single. Like, you don't have to, you know, lower your level. You got long arms. You can reach a leg and pull it. I've never had good success like picking Ben's leg up, if I'm being honest. What sort of dynamic throw did Aries just pull off? Ooh, looked like your knee may have collapsed out from underneath you there. Can't tell if Jordan, if you were looking for something like you, it looked like you stepped like right here, like you were looking to hit something, but Aries just got the jump on you. Sits down through that, puts you down nicely. Oh, Ben on a nice double, but good stuff from Joe. Yeah, I don't think you should give up on shooting, Joe. I think that could work really well for you. You just gotta be smart with your setups and smart with how you lead in, you know. I mean, you had me fooled there for a couple frames, Jordan. Let's see, we got Mike and Andrew over there too. I hadn't seen much of that match. What did Luke do? Smothered. I feel like when Luke gets bored, he just smothers you. It's like, all right, I'm done with you. I'm going to smother you. Cole and James having a little scrap over here as well. I didn't have Cole reminding me to look at that match, James, so I assume you just worked him the whole time. We're just going to say James won that because Cole didn't tell me he did anything. All right. Danny's sitting, still winded from having his air taken away in that smother. Ben laying on some heavy pressure while Mike plays bottom half guard. Why do you think he was winded, Joe? Danny getting a sweep out of this. So just a good example for Olivia of the I don't want to say the necessity, but the power of, you know, winning that underhook battle. Danny wins it here. He does kind of a bridging escape from side control. He's able to power up to an elbow, and then now it's... I like that little swim he does. He swims that underhook from one side to this reverse underhook on the other side. Does like an overback grip. That was a slick little sweep. Jordan with the heavy collar tie pressure. David not having it. So yeah, Joe, that's a this is a good example of what I'm talking about with like your shots. Like what David does here. This is like more of a sweep single approach where his legs sweep along the mat to the outside. He cuts that 90 degrees. That keeps his head inside. I think with your reach and your quickness, like that's a version of a single that I think would work really well for you and be very safe. And then, you know, kind of walk it up from here. If your opponent goes down, great. If not, pick the leg up, walk him down, tree top him, you know, pull the leg up really high. There are plenty of ways you could finish it. You probably have a favorite. Daniel and Luke. Wait, were they going already, or did they just... Okay, cool. Mike throwing up a triangle on Bin. See if he can jam Bin's giant shoulders into his neck. Looked like he actually used an arm finish on this one. What happened there? Okay, I think he digs out. Looks like he's digging out a Kimura or a straight arm or something. Yes, thank you, Cole. Luke not wanting to deal with the stand-up. Pulls guard. Pulls half guard against Daniel. Moves to turtle and then back to guard. All right. David have a little bit of trouble here getting by Jordan's guard, his side guard, and then something we're seeing from Jordan all too often, this great sweep. I genuinely think, man, you do that better than anybody I've trained with. That is like annoyingly like it's predictable, and I still can't really shut it down, and I feel like everybody else has a hard time with it too. But you're really making sure to like check the boxes of everything you need before you do this. So that, which is why I think it works so well for you. You're not like just hitting a heavy bridge and hoping for the best. Like, you're not blocking David's base, but he's giving it up himself. So you're like, all right, I don't need the overhook. He's giving me, with this cross face pressure, he takes away his own base. Check. Let's get his head lower than his hips. Check. Super easy from there. And then now, you know, with him pressuring forward to you, trying to work past your side guard, you've got your power foot down. Nice big bridge. Everything you need to hit the sweep. You got a message today from a boy, and now you're sore. Ben just shaking Mike off here like he's a child. No, I can't. I already forgot what I said. You're so good at jiu-jitsu, sweetie. Checking in with Daniel and Luke. What happens here? I mean, Luke's definitely like, I don't know if he's on his neck or was there a hidden wrist lock I didn't see somewhere? Oh, I hope Daniel wrist locked him. That'd be awesome. Since I don't know what happened, I'm going to just say Daniel wrist locked Luke. I have no idea what ended that. Say it. And it won't be the last. Don't commit to that. There are like 6 people in chat, so you've got a strong survey group to work with here. Does anybody have trouble saying the name Hunter? No one's even gonna answer you. Maybe Jordan will. So Danny and Olivia in this like dogfight position, coming up from, I think they're coming up from half guard. Yeah, Danny coming up from bottom half guard with the underhook. Olivia throws in the whizzer, which is good. That's what's going to prevent Danny from taking the back. I'd like to see her driving his head nice and low with that shoulder control. There, now she's in some trouble. Danny can just shuck forward and throw Olivia's arm to the mat when that happens, and then he's got a full run to the back. Let's see what he does here. I don't remember. Olivia gets her leg free. Yeah, Danny with the big shrug. And now he's chasing after the back. Olivia turns to hide it, though, and gives up mount. I already said it. I said Hunter. I pronounced it. I pronounce all the letters in the name. In all 2 syllables of that name. Jordan's legs actually are hairy enough that if you rubbed him together, if you rubbed his legs together, it might sound like a cricket. Skinny legs aside, as he hits another powerful bridge, but he completed it after the round, so it doesn't count for anything, and his wife remains unimpressed. Oh, let's see, Luke ends up in a good spot from a bad spot here, from a really bad spot. So Daniel on Luke's back in this last minute. That looks awful. Daniel feeling like he's losing the back here, though, so he switches back to mounts. How the hell does Luke get out of this? Just about ends up belly down with Daniel on his back. Okay, slips out the back that way and then just goes on. Onto the pressure from top half guard. Yeah, Luke can pretty much hit a smother from anywhere. I've seen him smother some of you from being in your close guard, which is embarrassing. I don't want to say he's done that to me. I think he's tried, and I haven't let him happen. That's like the last frontier between me and him. But yeah, he gets a smother from top half guard with seconds left. You say Hunter? Hunter. Hunter, get over here. You've smothered Danny from inside his close guard? Oh, Aries. Oh, man, I really like that. That was awesome. So, let's look at this. What a great switch, the body lock position from standing and then rolls through on this. So he shoots the underhook, goes near side with his hook, and then like kind of feints in for this Uchimata a little bit, or like a front trip. And then as James is focused on that, quick shot to the body. That was a great switch, James. That looked like it totally caught you off guard. Yeah, that was really nice. I didn't say Hunter, I said Hunter. Because there's a T in it. Not a second N. Luke on outside Ashi. Mitchell kind of okay with it, it looks like. James spinning for that leg lock. Got the outside. Aries is just waiting for the grip. There it is. Let's see how that's set up. So Aries playing bottom half. Okay, yeah, just simple step into outside Ashi. Last thing you need is the heel exposure, which you're getting through that turn. And you set it up pretty easy, or a pretty early attempt on the heel exposure, but I think that roll is what really really settles it for you. And then you switch to that cross-side grip. That's really awesome. Great. This is exactly, I think Peters was talking about that on the last stream. From this like backside outside heel hook position, that's a really good grip to switch to. So right there, the normal grip, and then here you see that switch to the cross-side grip, and that's how you get the tap. That was nice, man. This heel, yeah, it looked like it. David feinting a duck under there. Didn't go for it. Daniel doing Daniel things on Cole over there. His I'll call it his exorcist pass. The way he goes on his back and bridges up. I have no other name for it. I don't know if there is a name. That's what I'm going with today. Gets the sweep and goes into mount. Andrew and Danny over here. Don't hang out here too long, Andrew, especially with Danny. I would just come back to the knees, get his guard lower down the body. That way he doesn't throw up any surprise triangles or anything like that. Try the pass for some reason when I do it. Most people brush me off like a mosquito. Speaking of, still flying around in here. What does David do here? Okay, kind of like almost like a fireman's carry a little bit. He doesn't really go, I don't know, we'll call that a fireman's carry. Not as like picture perfect as you know, a textbook example. But gets Joe down. But now Joe has his hips to the outside in kind of a clamp guard position. Maybe. What happened there, Joe? Is it like a contact come out or something? I don't know. Okay, yeah. No tap there. Oh, he chipped his tooth. Okay. Just put that to the side real quick. Get back to rolling. That's why I wear a mouth guard, man. Okay. That sucks. The one day he forgets it. And now he's got to fight out of a submission. And a deep one. Looking to a triangle armbar. Let's see if you can get this grip. I don't know if anything else. Okay, Aries is on a heel hook. We'll come back to that. Joe, you're so close there, man. There it is. Okay, nice. And you switch to the triangle instead. Awesome. As far as breaking this grip open, I really like your leg position here. I'd either work this or the 3/4, which is, you know, just having this knee over the face. This is still a lot of control that you have over the shoulder lines, which is important because you don't want him working a strong enough escape that now you have to like base out because you're off balance. you can use both hands to attack the grip. So when I see guys fighting like this, where they've got, you know, really straight arms extended, I'm looking to gather the far elbow. So in this case, David's right elbow. I'll reach across. I'll keep my like elbow deep grip. I typically favor a head side arm on the elbow deep grip, and I will reach across with the body side arm. It probably doesn't matter, and I'm just like stuck in my ways. But I'm looking to gather this elbow up. The gable grip is really strong when the arms are straight. It's weaker when you pull the elbows together. So that's what you're looking for there. And then with that elbow deep grip, I'm going to move down to the grip itself. Like I'm moving down to where his hands are connected, because I can slip that more easily once the elbows are pinched in. If you have any questions about that, bring it up to me, bring it up to Mike, Luke, any of us. You know, they'll probably have their own flavors of it. But I'll show you just how powerful of a grip break that can be. Other times from there, you know, when they feel their arms collapsing, they'll switch to like a figure four, or where they'll like kind of bury their arm. We have answers for that too. That's easy enough to get around. But either way, if none of that's working, you're still in a great spot to attack this triangle, which you did, especially with like a few seconds left on the clock. Really good awareness, if you did notice that. Yeah, I love that you pull them across to like get your feet to a better position, pretty much moving to a rear triangle, and then getting the tap. And then the bell goes off, and his tooth is chipped. Super pissed. And you probably took his lunch money. That was nice, really nice. Sorry, wait a minute. Okay, James, it looks like you and Aries are just talking heel hooks now. Alright, it wasn't like a full attempt or something like that. Okay. James wrestles up, gets Andrew down. That was nice. That was quick, James. It's funny. I've been thinking a lot about this because I haven't wrestled up lately, just for fear of the come up, right, from the bent leg position. My usual thought on this is, as I get this leg, drive through the opponent to make the leg light. You take a backward hop here, which is kind of interesting. Like you're not driving through him as much as you are pulling the leg out and then standing up still. I mean, it looks like it works. Maybe it works because of Andrew's reaction, but that was just interesting. I don't have much to say on it other than now I'm curious if I could go in either direction. I think when they drive towards me, I normally just end up being put down. Like they kind of put me to my back, which is why I feel like I need to start driving through them more. But you hopped back enough to like you got out of the way of his crowding you. That was interesting. David still looks pissed. Now he's going to take it out on Mitchell. Luke going for the smother on Mike. That's the thing. So much of that attack is like, all right, do you want me to smother you or do you want me to get on your back? strangle you. Like that's I feel like that's how Luke works it more often than not, and it's quite effective. Big old turn on Mike's face there. Good control over Andrew James. Not letting him sneak that knee back in from that like kind of halfway north-south position. Did a good job keeping his head turned, crowding his legs, making it really difficult for him to regard. And Andrew just about gets the regard there. There we go. David looking for his own back take. He's got to sneak that leg in against the back. There we go. Okay, now he's coming back over the top now. Working 3/4 mount. Like a modified mount, kind of. I don't think anyone has Kimura'd Luke from this position. Okay, Mike's not going for a Kimura. Was going for his shoulder crunch. Either way, I don't think anybody's Kimura'd Luke from there in a long time. The last time I tried, I was probably a blue belt, and he Kimura'd me instead. Where he slips his elbow and reverses it. And didn't feel good. Danny looking like he's trying to backstep on Ronnie, but Ronnie not having it. Sets him down to his butt, gets her hips up. And I would almost call that a sweep if she gets her head out. There it is. Now's Mike going on the Kimura? Yep. Yeah, Luke had already buried it pretty deep there. David works his way to mount. But I think Mitchell's hiding that arm from... Oh, Mitchell with the Mitchell escape. And it's working. And he gets to a leg just about. He's got both legs wrapped up, though. He gets safe. It's working for him. Oh, man. Luke, it looks like Luke tries to dive over Mike's guard or like hip switch, but it puts Mike in a position to go cross Ashi. We'll see if Mike can sit him down. Luke's countering with a Darce attempt, though, looks like. Right at the bell. I would like to see that one play out. Looks like they're trying to talk through it now. We got Ben and Olivia over there. James and Mitchell. Curious what Mike's talking through here. Fast forward a little bit. Here we go. Excuse me. So Andrew's got a very strong bottom half guard. The way I typically handle that is by cutting that corner, trying to turn around the around that top leg. I went over that a little bit on Monday, kind of in the setup to like ankle scooping or taking a scoop grip on the hamstring. trying to control David's posture now. Yeah, David, before you stand, I would address that grip. Because now Andrew can start to ride his legs up the back and work to a higher guard position and put a lot more of his weight on you. It's not a terrible thing. It's going to make it really difficult to break open the guard from there. Police brutality move. I assume you meant police brutality. What are you talking about? Is this what you're doing to Mitchell? You guys are having a little flurry here, man. Knee slide through, roll around that leg, cut back. Good reactions. What do you kneel on his head or on his neck? Yep, there it is. Dude, someone did that to me a lot lately. Moving to the head scissor with the arm. Who did that to me? I want to say it was like maybe Danny, but like just knee directly on the back of my brainstem, which I'll be honest isn't all that effective. It doesn't really bother me much. I know exactly where you are, so I'm not too worried. God, that's gonna bother me. I can't remember who it was. Maybe it wasn't Danny. Ooh, Mitch unfazed, looking for the sweep, but James goes for the leg attack instead. Looks like James looks like you get maybe a straight ankle here. I don't know. I see your maybe more of a heel hook. I see your elbow pointing back behind, just to make him want to break his grip. Yeah, totally. So yeah, more of the same advice, David. If you're gonna stand in the closed guard, you need to be working the standing guard break. So, gotta just stand straight up. Means you gotta get your posture back under your control. And if it is under your control, you don't want to just give it away, right? By keeping your head low and your hips high. Remember what we said earlier about Jordan when he was doing that sweep from side control that he's really good at hitting. A key part of that is keeping the opponent's head low, keeping the top guy's head real low as his hips go up. When that happens, you're really, really easy to sweep over. That said, there are cases where, we talk about TPing up, like maybe when you're trying to fish your foot, or like unwedge your foot from a 3/4 guard or something, or a quarter guard, I guess. Typically, though, when you're working something like that, you have either wide elbows on the mat, your head planted on the mat, your hands on the mat, something to give you a wider base up top. That's not something we saw in the case of Jordan's sweep, or in the case of like close guard. Andrew, meanwhile, makes a really good switch here. Climbing the body, right? Going up to that higher guard position, slips that knee through. Great triangle, man. Now, okay, there we go. So you want to cut, you would have wanted to cut under David's right leg if you wanted to tighten the triangle up more. I don't know if he tapped to arm or triangle there, but good. Good, I'm glad. I refuse to let him hit me with one, so I'm glad to hear the feedback from you guys. The day will come when I won't have a choice anymore, though, so. James stepping right into Crossashi, getting a quick knee bar. We got 2 more rounds. All right, Luke and Joe. Luke looking for possibly a tripod variation here. Normally, that's what you can expect from that ankle grip. Joe, remember, easy way to prevent any sort of tripod. When you start feeling that ankle grip, just reach down with a little monkey grip, 4 fingers under his wrist, and pull it up. That grip, that's really not a grip. He's not like grabbing on, right? He's just going like this to your ankle. You don't have to accept it. But all he needs is a split second to get to, you know, a foot on your hip, a foot behind your other leg, and he's got a tripod. James giving Cooper no quarter. And Luke trying to make his way to possibly an outside Ashi. If he can get Joe sat down in this direction, I think he's got it. Oh. I almost had it. Not that any of you care. It's still driving me crazy. What happens here? It's like Joe gets a Darce, I want to say, on Luke. See Luke tapping. Damn, I wish we had a better angle of this, Joe. I think you were telling me about this the other day, or someone was telling me about it on your behalf. This is great. Is that what it was, Joe? Did you get the Darce from there? That's awesome, man. Hell yeah. Always feels good getting a tap on a black belt. Except it doesn't feel good for the black belt. By the look of it, if I had to guess, I would say it was a Darce. If his arm was in that, I imagine it was his top arm. Yeah, I mean, it would have had to be. Unless it was just like some gnarly neck crank, which if you did neck crank Luke, thank you. After all of the neck cranks he's put me through, I'm happy to see him tap to one. But either way, good job, man. He had you in a, you know, a vulnerable spot. So one arm, yeah, it was most likely a Darce. James working to cross Ashi, gathering up that secondary leg so Cooper has nowhere to go. Ben and Olivia beat from beating each other up. James with the clover leaf now. So James, are you just running through what you can do in cross Ashi on Cooper? Poor Cooper. But yeah, Joe, this is what happens after you tap Luke. Just FYI. And this is all like Luke is happy about this and is look how he's smiling and everything. That's the price you pay. Quick throw by attempt on the legs. Nice stepping, Joe. But this is what I'm talking about. See, Luke's grabbing that ankle just a little too long for my liking. And his feet are up high, right? They're in a spot where he can actually start to off balance you, affect your center of gravity. Now he's getting you turned around, looking for the back take. Easier to do in a gi, but what's a gi? And now he's looking maybe a Stima. That little footlock where he uses his chest and a quick extension of his body. Coop is game for it, man. Whatever you guys are doing. Oh, okay. It looks like you hit like an electric chair or something from the top. Yeah. All right. Good round, Joe. All right, last round. So we got Daniel and Luke. It's like Ben joins the fray with David over there. I'm going to zoom in over here. We got Mike giving a little lesson. Luke having flashbacks to his last round. His neck is in trouble. Not terrible. He does have a head and arm guillotine threat. Meanwhile, Ben gets a sweep. A good sweep, too. This is something I can almost guarantee if Mike teaches, if Peters teaches this rotation through half guard, he's going to focus a lot on attacking the what I'll just call the far side arm. If you're in bottom underhook, we normally focus on the fight for the underhook with our top arm and their same side arm. I hope you guys can picture what I'm talking about. We too often forget about that other arm of theirs that's hanging out, that sometimes is basing out on the mat. Peters loves to go for that arm. I think that's something he learned directly from Tom at a seminar. But it's often kind of slept on and forgotten about. But if you could control that arm, you can get a sweep very similar to what we're seeing Ben hit here, where he can get David off. See, he's not even paying attention to this arm that normally we're fighting for an underhook on. Instead, he goes for the other arm, controls it so he doesn't have a base, and then sweeps him in that direction. Luke content to work back to close guard, taking an opportunity to throw up a guillotine threat as Daniel goes for a double. Actually, it wasn't a double underhook sweep. It looked like an over-under sweep or an over-under pass he was trying to set up. Still trying to go for it there. Daniel trying to cross that leg in front of his body to pass to the back. He's almost a double underhook, but you can see Luke digging his heels down to the mat, right? This is how you weigh up on somebody's shoulders when they're trying to double underhook pass you. You really got to focus on hanging your weight on that shoulder line. Daniel's doing a good job preventing Luke from turning his hips up here. As he moves up the body, though, he has less control over the hips, so we see Luke make his way up to turtle. And sitting back to guard. Very basic sit to guard there, but very effective. Now, as Luke is reaching for that leg, he's kind of putting himself in a Darce threat. I don't know if he's worried about the Darce from Daniel or not. I don't know if Daniel utilizes them too frequently enough to make Luke give some pause. Luke opting to pull his legs back through and just sit back to guard. Going on the counterattack now with a Kimura. And does he get Daniel turned? No, Daniel, well, gets to his back in a very roundabout, non-typical way. Now, Daniel is not giving up that second hook opportunity, though. Yeah, and I think Daniel is a bit more comfortable with his mount escapes. So it would make sense to me that he would be, a bit more cagey with giving up the back And we did see him just basically hit a bridging escape out of Luke's mount. But now Luke switching his triangle attack to a wrong way triangle. And this looks good. Nice. Switches back to the front triangle. So we went front triangle to wrong way, back to front as Daniel was stacking through. Nice adjustments. Daniel working more of a kind of somewhere between a log splitter pass. He didn't really have a knee up the middle, but he was probably hanging a lot of pressure on Luke's hips. Sitting back for the straight ankle. Luke didn't look too comfortable with that. And then, okay. Quick counter. Time check from Luke. See what he's got to work with here. I think Daniel about had Luke in some trouble on that straight ankle. It looked like he didn't like it too much. Man, good stuff. Great rounds from everybody. Joe, super proud of you, man, for tapping Luke with a Darce. Love it. That makes me super happy. And James, Darce, and Danny, too. That was sick, man. Darces were the name of the game tonight. So, good stuff. I'm glad we got to go back and review this footage. All of you had some great rounds. Glad I wasn't there. I probably would have gotten my ass beat a whole lot. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you guys hanging out. As always, follow, subscribe at YouTube as well if you guys want to review the footage. I think we'll leave it at that for today. Thanks again for tuning in. Go trim your nails. Go do your laundry. Don't be stinky. And we will see you guys back on the mats. Take it easy.